You are following the most popular budgeting rule in history, and it is quietly making sure you never get rich. Let me say that again. The 50-30-20 rule. The one your favorite finance guru swears by. The one that feels responsible, balanced, and safe. It's a trap. And most people don't realize it until they've lost 10 years of wealth. Here's what's crazy. The math actually works on paper. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. It's clean. It's simple. It feels like the responsible adult thing to do. But there's one number in that formula that is secretly sabotaging you. And when I show you the real-world cost of that one number, you are going to be angry. Because no one told you this sooner. Stick with me until the end, because I'm also going to give you the fix. And it takes less than 10 minutes a month. My name is Thomas, and I spend way too much time thinking about the 50-30-20 rule, a mathematical way to never be broke again. If you're someone who has tried to budget before, felt good for 2 weeks, and then somehow ended up back at zero wondering where your money went, make sure to subscribe. Because today we are fixing the math that finance influencers refuse to talk about. Let me paint a picture. Meet Sarah. She's 28. She makes $60,000 a year. She watches a YouTube video exactly like the ones you've seen. How to budget with the 50-30-20 rule. It sounds perfect, so she does the math. After taxes, she takes home about $4,000 a month. Needs $2,000, wants $1,200, savings $800. Sarah feels amazing. She's doing the right thing. She's saving 20%. She's not depriving herself. She has $1,200 for wants. That's $300 a week on fun. Here's where the trap snaps shut. Sarah's rent is $1,400. Her groceries are $400. Her car insurance is $150. Her phone bill is $80. Suddenly her needs aren't $2,000, they're $2,300. But the rule says 50%. So what does she do? She fudges it. She moves her gym membership to needs. She tells herself a nicer apartment is a need because of safety. She reclassifies her streaming services as utilities. And that's the trap. The 50-30-20 rule feels mathematical, but the categories are emotional. And when real life hits, you don't change your spending. You change the labels. But here's the problem. The math doesn't care about your labels. Let's show the real numbers, because this is where it gets expensive. Let's take two people. Both make $60,000 a year after taxes. Both follow the 50-30-20 rule for 10 years. Person A does it perfectly. $2,000 needs, $1,200 wants, $800 savings. Person B does what most people actually do. Their needs creep to $2,400. Their wants stay at $1,200. Their savings drop to $400 a month. That's a difference of $400 a month. $4,800 a year. Over 10 years, that's $48,000 less saved. But here's where it gets dangerous. If person A invests that $800 a month at a 7% return, after 10 years they have roughly $138,000. Person B, with $400 a month at 7%, has roughly $69,000. A $69,000 difference. That's a down payment on a house. That's 2 years of freedom from work. That's the difference between I have options and I have to keep this job I hate. And remember, person B still thought they were following the rule. They just reclassified a few things: a slightly nicer car, a slightly bigger apartment, a few more delivery dinners. This is the quiet math of being broke. You don't feel it month to month, but decade to decade. It's devastating. Most people miss this because they focus on the percentage. They should be focusing on the definition of needs. So why does everyone fall into this trap? It's not because you're bad with money. It's because of something called categorical creep. Humans hate feeling deprived. The 50-30-20 rule feels generous. 30% for wants, that's permission. That's a reward for being responsible. But your brain doesn't distinguish between a genuine need and a want that feels urgent. Behavioral economists call this mental accounting. You create buckets, but your emotions keep moving the boundary lines. You might be thinking, but Thomas, my rent really is a need. My car really is a need. I agree, but here's the question no one asks. What version of a need? A $1,200 apartment is a need. A $1,800 apartment is a want dressed up as a need. A $300 used car payment is a need. A $600 new car payment is a want. The 50-30-20 rule doesn't account for intensity. It treats all needs as equal. They are not. And this gets worse. When you give yourself 30% for wants, you start inventing wants. You start thinking, I deserve this because I saved 20%. That's called moral licensing. It's the same psychology that makes someone eat a salad and then reward themselves with a cheesecake. The rule turns into, save 20%, then feel free to waste the other 80%. But here's what most people don't realize. The hidden truth is that the 50-30-20 rule was never designed to build wealth. It was designed to prevent disaster. Elizabeth Warren popularized it in her 2005 book All You're Worth, and in that context, it was brilliant. For a family living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt, the 50-30-20 rule is a life raft. But here's the problem. A life raft is not a speedboat. It's not designed to get you to the island of wealth. It's designed to keep you from drowning right now, if you are already stable, if you already have an emergency fund. If you are not in credit card debt, the 50-30-20 rule becomes a ceiling, not a floor. It limits how fast you can grow. Most financial advice is actually poverty prevention disguised as wealth building. And this is the part that makes people angry, because you've been following this rule for years. You feel responsible, you feel smart. And yet your net worth is barely moving. That's not your fault. You were given the wrong tool for the job. So what's the right tool? I'm glad you asked. Here's the fix, and it's simpler than you think. We are not throwing out the 50-30-20 rule. We are upgrading it to something I call the 70-20-10 inversion for wealth building. But let me be very specific. Step 1, redefine needs like a monk. For the next 6 months, your needs are rent basic, utilities basic, groceries basic, insurance basic, transportation basic. That's it. No streaming services, no gym, no, but my mental health requires takeout. Basic. Survival, dignity, but not luxury. Calculate that number. For most single people, it's 40 to 45% of take-home pay, not 50%. Step 2, flip the savings rule. Instead of saving what's left, you are going to save 20% first, not 20% of what's left, 20% of your total take-home pay, automatically, before you see it. That means if you make $4,000 a month, $800 disappears into investments and high-yield savings before you touch a single dollar. Step 3, Cap wants at 15%. I'm serious. 15%, not 30%, because here's the truth, most of your wants don't actually make you happier after the first hour. The $7 coffee, the $70 impulse buy, the $200 night out, they feel good in the moment. They don't change your life. Cutting wants from 30% to 15% gives you an extra 15% of your income. That's $600 a month on a $4,000 paycheck. Step 4, that extra 15%. It goes to wealth acceleration. Invest it, put it toward a house down payment, start a side business, pay off debt faster, whatever has the highest long-term ROI. So your new rule looks like this: 45% needs, 15% wants, 20% savings, 20% wealth acceleration. Notice something, you're still saving 20%. You're just also investing another 20% into growth. That's 40% of your income working for your future instead of 20%. Let me show you what this actually looks like for Sarah, the woman from earlier. Old rule: $4,000 income, $2,000 needs, $1,200 wants, $800 savings. 10 years later, $138,000. New rule, $4,000 income, $1,800 needs, $600 wants, $800 savings, $800 wealth acceleration. That's $1,600 a month working for her future. At 7% over 10 years, $277,000. That's more than double. And here's the kicker. She doesn't feel deprived because her $600 wants budget is intentional. She actually enjoys it more than the $1,200 scattered spending. Research shows that spending caps increase satisfaction because you make conscious choices instead of leaking money on autopilot. Look, you didn't fail the 50-30-20 rule. The rule failed you. It was built for a different problem. And if you keep using it past its expiration date, you are leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. Here, that's what I need you to do today. Pause this video. Open your bank app. Write down your actual needs from the last 3 months, not what you think they should be, what they actually are. Then run the math. 45% needs, 15% wants, 20% savings, 20% wealth. If that number scares you, good, that's the wake-up call. My name is Thomas. I spend way too much time thinking about the math that actually builds wealth, not just the math that prevents broke. If you want the exact spreadsheet I use for the 70-20-10 inversion, comment the word formula and I'll send it to you. And subscribe. Because in the next video, I'm going to show you the single biggest lie in retirement investing. And it's probably costing you $300,000 right now. See you there.